Ladies and gentlemen, I have great pleasure in welcoming you to the first ever national seminar organized by your association. We are fortunate that we have with us two of our very eminent and young ministers who are shouldering very heavy responsibility. The nation has great expectations from them. We are meeting at a time when the country is faced with the most difficult economic crisis, shortage of electrical energy, spiraling of prices, and inflation have put the fifth plan in jeopardy. Due to the energy cuts, there is complete crisis in industrial production and even the agricultural production. The difficult raw material position is affecting the industries adversely, and the power shortage has almost paralyzed the industrial sector, resulting in serious employment problem, which has reached a gigantic proportion. The severe energy crisis is not something sudden and unexpected. It is high time that the power policy on which the economic survival of the country depends is given due importance and purposeful efforts made. Any delay or complacency in this behalf will ruin our national economy, causing untoward miseries to the people. The newly organized Ministry of Energy has been handling the subject of electrical energy for some time now and is taking active steps to generate more power so that it could meet the requirements of the nation for its agricultural and industrial sectors, and I am confident that its efforts will bear some positive results. I would, on my part, make some suggestions which would go a long way in alleviating the sufferings of the industry and help to achieve the targets fixed for the fifth plan. The success of the rural electrification, agricultural and industrial production depends mainly upon the growth of electricity. The requirements of the aluminium in the fifth plan is estimated to be of the order of 9 lakh tons. Adequate production capacity is already available and is in the process of production during the fifth plan, but I must emphasize that electricity in required quantum should be ensured to the primary producers of aluminium on top priority basis for enabling them to work to their full capacity. Once the production of aluminium is increased, most of the ills the industry now facing will be cured. The non-availability of this material to the extent necessary is causing great hardship to the industry, and many units are facing the bleak prospect of closure. To aggravate the situation, the government has recently evolved a novel procedure of allotting the metal direct to the electricity boards for their requirements. This has been done in the hope that it would hasten to process of electrification programs of the states, but unfortunately this has not materialized. In many cases, the metal is still under the control of the state electricity boards, which we understand could not be distributed because of the procedural difficulties. There are a few cases where the material has been utilized for purposes other than those it was meant for. Besides this, the practice of reallocating the metal through electricity boards has given room for unhealthy practices. In my view, the present problem of supply of aluminium conductors to state electricity boards will not be solved by allotting the available quantity to the boards, but it could be solved only by finding ways and means to speed up the production of aluminium in the country. There is a close link between the industry and the government insofar as power distribution is concerned, and as such this should not only be maintained but also strengthened to remove the existing bottlenecks in carrying out the electrification programs. I suggest that there should be a joint machinery consisting of representatives of both the Ministry of Energy and other concerned organizations which could meet frequently to evolve policies, sort out difficulties in relation to generation, transmission, and distribution of energy. The government is well aware that many of the important works were taken up and orders for the materials for such priority projects were placed with the industry. Unfortunately, due to sudden change in the assistance policy of the government, the industry was forced to suspend the supplies. This has adversely affected the program of works already undertaken, and I suggest that the government should take immediate steps to restore the assistance since withdrawn. I have indicated the importance of electrical energy and the problems that are created due to energy shortage. The problem relating to the energy crisis has to be tackled on a war footing if we want to make progress and achieve our objectives of removing unemployment and poverty in the country. I must emphasize that there will be no prosperity without electricity. Electricity is the most effective means to achieve the goal of removal of poverty. I therefore suggest that this year should be declared a power year so that everyone connected with electricity is made to get involved in power generation, distribution, and conservation to build up the nation's economy and lead to the economic prosperity of the rural masses. Gentlemen, I have gone through in detail the information contained in your report furnished to me during March last. It is quite encouraging that your activities throughout the year have been more successful than any other agent of the concern. I strongly feel that in the existing circumstances, it is but fair to give you promotion as a senior agent and make you responsible for supervising the sales of all the products of the concern. The present senior agent who is holding this position from a long time will retire at the end of April after 30 years of service in this firm. I am therefore addressing you to let me know whether you would be in a position to take up this responsible assignment. It is needless to say that this position is a well paid one, but you will not be allowed to draw any special commission on the sales effected by other agents. On the contrary, it is but right to point out that it is quite necessary for you to remain mostly in Delhi, and it will not be a big problem as you have a decent house just outside the city limits. In this context, I hasten to make quite clear to you that you may have to travel overseas from time to time. I am not sure whether you regard this as an advantage or not, but such a travel is an essential part of the job I am offering you. Till now, no appreciable sales promotion has been made outside the country, but I have now decided to make a real export drive in an effort not only to earn foreign exchange but also conserve the much needed foreign exchange by intensifying the export trade. I have an idea of extending the business gradually. I understand that you are seriously thinking of disposing of your present house and going in for a new building. If such is the case, I would like to purchase the said building at a reasonable cost to be mutually agreed upon. I would request you to call on me on Monday next, any time convenient to you. Yours faithfully.